Hey guys, Big Red here. I'm joined with Iron Man
Dark Comrade.
and the Joker.
Hello.
And we were going to be joined by one of our fans, Chris, but we had some technical difficulties with him.
He doesn't like being hung up on.
He doesn't like being hung up on, apparently.
At all.
But our topic for our week podcast is euthanasia, which was sent in by JC and Rion. Thanks, guys.
Fuck you,
But yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Tony, what is your opinions on euthanasia?
Euthanasia. I agree with it, because I'm not a fucking idiot. I believe that if you're terminally ill, if you're laying in a bed and your life is waiting to die, then you should go, hey cunt, murder me. Cheers, cunt. And that's it. You're fucking dead, and you don't care anymore because you're dead. And then that person can live happily knowing that they ended your life because you wanted to die. So it's a win-win. Jokingly, it's a win-win because you can have like murderers do it. So then they get to kill people and not go to jail. And then the people die and they want to die.
Yeah, exactly. They
That
still
works.
get a weird little beat off of killing someone.
But seriously though, I don't see why you should be against it. I think if you're competent enough, if your life is so shit, if you're trapped in a nursing home just waiting to die, or if you've just been diagnosed with terminal illness, there's no cure for it, you're fucked. Roll credits. Why not roll those credits a little earlier? You know? I don't see the problem with that, and I don't understand.
Instead of 6 months or a year of extra pain, why don't you just end that now with
Exactly.
especially if they want to as well.
It's not like anyone's forcing them into it. It's going, hey, I don't want to be alive anymore. Kill me, Plox. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why this is still illegal, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say almost all countries. I have no fucking idea at all. I mean, like, if someone's too fucking crippled or whatever the reason to do it for themselves, then why not help them out a bit? It's not as if you're doing anything wrong by them or anything else. If they're asking for it, I mean, obviously that'd have to be a lot of legal shit to go with it, but if they're asking for it, if they're saying I'm in a lot of pain, I hate being alive sort of thing, then let them do it. It's just like any other fucking 14-year-old, I guess. If they're in pain, sure, they're gonna do it. So why can't a 80-year-old or fucking 110-year-old?
I suppose the one thing we're forgetting is that the difference between euthanasia and suicide is that the person that wants to be euthanized isn't capable of killing themselves and therefore needs a third party to do it for them.
Yeah. That was probably my own, not ignorance, but a bit of an ignorant comment that I made there. Joker, what are your opinions on euthanasia?
If you're so fucking old and sick and just laying in a bed and you want to die, and maybe not one of your family members, but if they had the strength to do it and end your life, then hats off to them. But it's really up to you. You're wasting taxpayers' money. Well, not necessarily wasting, but you're using taxpayers' money that could be going to other things like schools.
Yeah, exactly.
So really, I'm pro-choice. I'm for it. But I mean, what's one person against fucking the whole country?
Yeah, exactly. I honestly don't think it's it's the whole country per se. I think it's more of the government with the whole moral issue of it, because it is a very morally, I don't really want to talk about it. It's too much of a hard topic. It's everything else. I think it's just easier for Gillard to sort of just go, well, I'm not just saying Gillard, like, it's not just her fault.
Yeah.
I'm just using her because she's a fucking ranger.
If we ignore the problem,
no.
it's not
Yep.
there.
Facts too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, basically, honestly, the reason why it isn't brought into most governments, I would say my personal opinion on why it isn't is because there's too much legality behind it. I guess that's a word. And it's too complicated for them to do, I think, and it's too much of a risk to them.
Too much paperwork and
The thing that I hate about it is that it's people making decisions for other people, and those people should shut the fuck up. It's just like anything where a government like Julia Gillard, I'm willing to bet, has never been in that situation where she's had someone so willing to die. I mean, maybe she has, I don't know personally, quite frankly. I'm glad I don't. But I think it's easier for someone who's experienced it or seen it with their own eyes to say, hey, this should be legal, whereas you're relying on a government of who you don't know. They may have, they may not have. But why should it be up to these people? Why is it always up to the government? Why not put it to a vote? Why not? And I'm the same with
Majority vote.
things like I think any sort of thing like that where the government is too much of a fucking pussy to make their own decision should just be left up to the people, because that way, you know, you're doing what the people want. If the majority of people say, yes, I want this legal, then any backlash you get is coming from the minority, and they can go fuck themselves. I think part of it is religion-based, also because suicide is a sin. But you're forgiven for suicide. You're forgiven for all your sins when you die, apparently. Good old Christianity.
That's a whole nother thing that we'll go into.
And
podcast.
also, murder is a sin. At the same time, thou shalt not kill, even though God does a lot of that.
Not hypocritical at all.
Exactly. But I think that, yeah, people who don't understand it should stay the fuck away from it. And that's the same with anything at all. Gay marriage, fucking whatever you want to talk about. If you don't understand it, or you haven't experienced it, or at all, haven't even fucking Googled it, shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and eat your cereal, you little cunt.
Yeah, it couldn't be said better. And I mean, like, I would also like to point out, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've never been personally put into that situation, or know anyone that's been put into that situation. But I mean, these are my own personal views, and I'm, you know, going out on a limb here and saying that, you know, this is your own personal views as well on the issue. But yeah, it's basically like, yeah, it's just one of those issues that is just a morally grey ground, and they're not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole pretty much because it's too hard. They don't want to work out the issues and go, well, here's the positives, here's the negatives, and work it out like proper mature fucking people that we should be.
Sorry, I zoned out for a couple of seconds there, but if we're still on the same subject as we were before...
no, we're actually on progeria now.
Okay, well, I have no fucking idea about that. But on the subject that we were on before, my nana had lung cancer and she was in so much pain, and my mum just basically gave her a ton of fucking morphine because she didn't want to die straight away. Like, I mean, she gave us so much fucking morphine, it was enough to put a person in a coma.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, even something like that, like, I mean, okay, basic, you know, and that would be coming to some sort of, you know, middle ground. If the person doesn't want to be, you know, if the person wants to be killed but no one wants to do it, sort of thing, well, the next best thing would be, I guess, you know, induced coma. Yeah, just dope them up with a whole bunch of drugs.
I can see the other problems with this, and that's where perhaps like the person's so ill they can't speak for themselves, whereas the control of that would then go to the next of kin. And the problems there is potential financial gain through will, where that person
my nana said to my mum before she got that bad that she didn't want to be in any pain, and for my mum to figure out any way possible to make that happen. So
yeah, but like, let's say it's left up to the next of kin. Say this person's so fucked up that they can't even, you know, talk anymore. You know, they might be unconscious, whatever, but they're definitely fucked. And it's up to you, the next of kin, to say, yeah, fuck them, kill them, or, you know, let's let them live a horrible, shitty life as a vegetable. But like, the problem there is humans are greedy cunts, and if they know that they're in the will and they're going to get money or a car or fucking anything, they might be a little bit more happy to see them go than they would normally be.
Yeah, exactly.
And to say that the humans don't do that, yes, they fucking do. Don't delude yourself, you fucking moral fag cunt.
Yeah. Humans are one of the most disgustingest races on this planet, probably. You know, we just attack viciously and do everything that we could possibly do as a selfish nature. Like, I mean, even the whole concept of love's a one-way street. Like, the only reason why This is my own personal opinion, but the only reason why we fall in love in the first place is so that way we feel better about ourselves. Yeah, we're a very selfish breed, or fucking whatever you want to call it, but yeah.
That's what they say about anal as well. The anal cavity's a one-way street, but obviously we didn't listen to that either.
No, exactly. Sorry about that, by the way.
Yeah, I just don't understand why it's not legal. I think it's ridiculous. It's another one of those Stone Age things like, oh, but it gets too close to murder, it's not murder because the person's consented to it. And obviously there would be legal documentation involved where the person would sign, there'd be a witness showing that this person signed and no one forged it, and there'd be, a whole heap of regulations. I'm saying it should be very hard to do, but I'm still saying it should be legal.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard to the point that no one wants to go through with it, but it should be,
that you want to make sure, like, it's hard enough so that people don't go, yeah, but still, it's like Centrelink payments. Make it a fucking pain in the ass, and some people won't bother with it.
No, exactly. Yeah, but it is basically one of those sort of it's just a very sticky sort of thing. You really can't talk about it without pissing someone off, I don't think.
And if you want to talk euthanasia, the same sort of topic is the death penalty, and that again is something. I mean, if you were going to euthanize someone, it should be in the same sort of way as a death penalty sort of thing. Have it done by a medical professional, have lots of people present, make sure it's performed perfectly or not at all. If there's one thing wrong, don't do it. All that kind of shit. And yeah.
I honestly don't have a lot to say more than what I already have about this subject, because it is basically just a subject that's based on moral views, and I mean that can be summed up in just a sentence, I guess. So apologies for people that wanted a 20-minute video on this, but it is it is
it's pretty cut and dry.
It is pretty much, yeah. We could spend the rest of the time telling lovely jokes if you'd like. No, that's
Child abuse is funny.
Well, since I brought it up, we've got about 10 minutes left. Let's talk about the death penalty a little bit, because that's fun and it's kind of the same topic.
Yeah, right.
I agree with it. Again, 100. Well, maybe not 100% on this one, because there are avenues where it could be. I say could be an innocent person, but obviously it's legal in America in some states. Don't quote me on that because I don't know, and I don't give a fuck because it's not my country. But I think it should be legalized in Australia again, especially for people like pedophiles, child molesters, the people that just repeat offend over and over.
I'm actually going to disagree with you on that one. I actually think, and it's not because I have pity on these people, don't get me wrong, I actually think pedophiles and all that would probably suffer worse in jail than they would if they receive the death sentence.
No, but they don't. They get protection in jail. They get put off in their own little wing. I know plenty of prison officers, and they all deal with them.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I don't agree with that, but I honestly do think, yeah, well, I mean...
They're basically protected from all the bad things that the rest of the human race wants to happen to them. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, the thing is, if they were to chuck... And I mean, I can say easily, without even knowing anyone in prison, that, pedophiles are the lowest tier of criminal. They're the most disgustingest filth that exists.
Yeah.
If they were to get chucked in within the rest of them, they would be treated as absolute shit. They wouldn't have a lick of respect. Like, fuck. People that would be in there that'd be treated as, little bitches and everything would be treated with more respect than a pedophile. Yeah. Fuck. I honestly don't think they deserve the death penalty because I think it would be a mercy to them.
Fuck them. I don't give a fuck about them. They're going to get released and they're going to go and fuck another child again. They've proven that pedophilia is basically like homosexuality. There's no curing it or anything like that. It is And people complain about when people say this, but it is a sexual preference. It is your sexuality, and there's no getting around that. They can't. I don't have any pity for them, but they can't help that they look at a 12 and go, "Oh yes, nice and tight." But,
yeah, the definition of, I'm pretty sure the definition of what would constitute as a pedophile is someone who is attracted to someone before they've hit puberty. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So not necessarily 12-year-olds. Like if you're again, I'm not saying I'm attracted to 12-year-olds or anything weird like that, but if you're attracted to a 12-year-old and she's already hit puberty and everything, it's not technically considered pedophilia. But if you're into 8-year-olds that have flat chests and still have squeaky voices, and yeah,
it's still wrong. I mean, it's still 12-year-old. I don't care how early or late they hit puberty.
It's horrible.
If they're under the age of 16, which is the legal age of consent in Australia, then it is pedophilia and rape. And obviously, I mean, if it's like a 15-year-old and she's gone and had sex with their boyfriend who's 17 or something, that's statutory rape. But it's like no one forced themselves on anyone there. That was consensual. It was just illegal in the eyes of the law.
If their age is on the clock, they're old enough for the cock.
But a full-blown pedophile who has kidnapped children, all that fun stuff, like someone like Dennis Ferguson, who is rest in hell, you disgusting piece of shit.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They should have been killed off a lot sooner. They shouldn't be allowed to live because they all get re-released into the community. Dennis Ferguson was, Jeffrey Leonard is.
See, that's something that I very much disagree with. If the only sort of thing that should happen to pedophiles, I think, is they should rot in prison.
Exactly. I
or
reckon
just
they
be
should get a
killed and
life
stop
sentence
wasting.
for all.
And again, that's wasting taxpayers' money. You should just kill
Yeah,
them.
that is fair enough.
They're a rodent. They're like rats. You put down, make it fun. I don't know. Make a game of it. To do like a death race or something sort of thing where they all kill each other off, and you just promise the winner freedom, but instead they get thrown in like a pit of lava or something.
Why not make it a little more fun? Do the any anime fans out there, if you're listening, Dead Man Wonderland. Make a personal owned theme park out of a prison, and just make all these mini games and shit, and make the prisoners compete in them. Seriously, go out there and watch an anime called Dead Man Wonderland. It is a fucking brilliant idea.
You don't promo stuff on fucking Jesus Christ. No, that's cool. Also something else.
Don't care.
I'll link that video in the description. Funny video.
Yes. I mean, that's about it, really. I mean,
yeah, there's
very cut and dried topics.
Yeah, exactly. We've just spoken about. We've just given you a fucking 2-in-1 tonight, guys. So
Double kill.
Be appreciative. Don't be a fucking stuck up little shit and fucking go, oh, okay, this is just not. No, this isn't just another fucking podcast. We're giving you 2-in-1. This is a fucking double wham bam shazam. So, yeah.
Enjoy.
And you got to listen to me again, and that should be pleasant enough.
You've been able to listen to a prepubescent 12-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm done for. Yeah. You guys got anything else to say?
No.
Alright.
Yeah. No. Try to be.
All right. Catch you guys later, and God bless Sasha Grey.
God bless her.
I crashed my car into the